I'm going to work with just for a minute with the toolbox, and so look at all of the files I just created in the last 30 minutes playing around with buffers, and look at the really bad naming some of these. I don't remember what I did for buffer 2, 3, 4, 5. The ones where I took a minute to write that down are going to be much more usable than ones where I just kind of went through creating a bunch of them. So I'm going to open up, where did it go? The model builder. And I'm going to save it. Oh, I've already done that one. I try again. Save. Don't want to look in there. Okay, so I have to find my way back to the desktop. Oh shoot, here we go. And I want to go into the geodatabase and add a new tool. And then I'm going to name, open that up and name it there. And I'm going to save it. And I'm going to set my, I think my geoprocessing environments are still set. But let's, yeah, they're still going there. Okay. All right. So we're going to set that up. If I refresh here, I'm going to see my toolbox and my new tool right there, ready to go. And so I can turn on my toolbox there, and I'm going to go into data management, layers and tables, and I'm going to add make a layer, a feature layer. And this actually is a little bit like select by attribute. So this is my my function, and that's my output. So I'm going to open up the function toolbox, and I want to add the geology data. So the geology is in my table of contents, so it'll just come out of the drop-down menu. I can also search this way. The output I want to call Paleozoic. And then my expression is just my attribute query. So name equals lower Paleozoic, or name equals upper Paleozoic. Say OK, and OK. And you see that my input has been added, my direction to make a feature layer, and then what my output's going to be called. If I right click and say add to display, well, I didn't run it yet, so nothing's going to happen. So now I'm going to run it. And I get a little pop-up window. It came on my other screen. The gray window shows me that it has been run successfully, and now I can choose add to display. Where did it go? There it is. So there is my Paleozoic geology that came out of my other two, or out of my query. So there's my Paleozoic. All right, so now I want to do that again. I'm going to drag that in there. Double click. I'm going to choose this time. So there's the two layers that I used in my model. I'm going to use vegetation, and I want to call this pine. I have no idea which ones are pine in here, but I'm going to pretend I know what I'm doing here. Okay, my expression here is cov type equals TAA, or cov type equals NFL, or cov type equals, I have no idea what that is, but we're going to go ahead and run it. Say OK. So there is my other input. Okay, and I'm going to run that and hopefully add to display. Okay, so there's what I'm calling pines. Well, there's not very many of them. Okay, now I want to intersect the two. So I want to see where are the pines that fall over Paleozoic data, or Paleozoic layers. So here I'm going to go Analysis Tools, and I want the Intersect tool. Now this time I want to choose those output layers that I had. Oh, come on, babe. We're going to do pines and Paleozoic are my, yep. And my output is going to be building site. And there's my building site. And so I'm going to run it. And building site, because these don't actually exist as layers, those exist as select by attribute. The only one that actually exists as a layer is my output building site. And it supposedly went into my scratch. Oh, look at all of that. So here's my scratch layer. And I put my building sites there. Okay, and there they are. So that's my intersection. So if this is a model I've developed, I can send that to anybody and they can run that model. I'm going to save the model, and you can insert labels, which are kind of nice if you want to annotate this. I would say this is a select by attribute. I might put my name on the model, and then for the lab you're just going to take a picture of the model and save it. Okay, so I'm going to save it again. To run it and reuse it, you right click your model and say edit, and it will open your model up again, and you can. Now I can't run it a second time because it says all processes have been run, so it's not going to want to create this another time. So I could change the name. Let's see if that's all I need to do. Let's see if I change that to site number 2. See, it says that's already been, but site 2 it'll let me do. Now will it let me run it again? Yeah. And then let's see if there is a, yep, there's another building site too. So sometimes you have to change the names to build your model, but that's all there is to it.